Still here with another Transgirl CNC, where we talk about comics, cartoons, and other awesome nerd shit. We're coming at you with the October previews, things I think you should be checking out in October that I'm going to be checking out and want to share the love on. Before we get into that and what I think you should be looking at, a little news from Marvel. If you haven't seen a previous book, or if you just don't know, Marvel is in October going to start renumbering and renaming some of their already released titles, such as the Totally Awesome Hulk is now just going to be the Incredible Hulk. The Mighty Captain Marvel will just be Captain Marvel. They'll have totally different and high numbers. Just, it's going to be interesting for your collection that they're just jumping into these high numbers out of nowhere, but it has something to do with the legacy stuff, and so, Marvel's doing their thing. Why I'm mentioning this is because my comics person suggested to me that I reorder some of the things that I'm getting from Marvel just to make sure that they come in and I have them, so I don't have to, scramble and look for it when it doesn't show up in my box. So, if you're in that situation where something's getting renumbered, renamed, etc., like Luke Cage is going to go from number 4 to number 150. That's just a weird jump. Talk to your local comics person. See what they suggest. If they suggest you should just reorder, let me hold this off camera. Suggest you just reorder, or if it's not going to affect you, and just go on their suggestion. Anyway, let's get into it. First thing I'm going to suggest for the month of October is Avatar Press. The entire company is suspending their comic books for that month, their current titles, and they're just reissuing graphic novels from other series that they've already printed out. And it's all on sale, $5.99 per volume. I personally am checking out Freak Angels because the name's interesting. The story is about 12 kids all born at the exact same moment, and then the world ends 6 years later, I suppose, at the same moment in conjuncture to when they were born, and what happens after that. So that will be interesting, I think. So I'm checking that out, all 6 volumes, and just, take a look through their catalog, see if there's something that maybe you were interested in that you got into too late or you couldn't find all the issues for. This would be a good way to collect those issues all in one nice package. Moving on from that, though, we have God Complex from Image by Paul Jenkins, Brian Wiley for the story, and art done by Hendry Procetta. I'm terrible at names. It's about a forensics investigator named Seneca who finds himself in the middle of a bizarre murder case, and it leads to a conspiracy theory that turns his whole world upside down. Is how it's being described. I think that sounds kind of Blade Runner-ish, and I'm definitely a fan of Blade Runner. So I might give this a look, see how it goes. Hopefully it's something I like. Hopefully it's not a bad comic purchase. But I'm definitely going to give this one a chance, and if that sounds interesting to you, definitely look into it. Moving on is Decimation from Aspen Comics. It's a big event that's going to go across all their titles, but just in in this individual title. It's not going to. Hopefully you're not going to have to get all the tie-ins. This isn't the big 2. Oh, that'd be terrible. Yes, it's an Aspen Universe event. Orlana, the Death Princess, uses her mind-controlling powers to gain control of a really skilled villainess to attack and kill Aspen heroes. I don't particularly read a lot of Aspen comics. I get No World. My girlfriend gets Soulfire, so it'll be interesting to see how it affects both those titles. Those are the ones we read. And all the other titles. And just the story in and of itself should be kind of interesting. I can't wait to see how a small publisher does a big event, because Marvel and DC kind of have that down pat, sort of. Yeah. So definitely check that out if you're even interested in any of the Aspen titles or reading any of the Aspen titles. I think No World's particularly great. I should do a video on it. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see a small publisher do a big event, and I'm definitely down for that. All my notes are here. Now, last adjustment video, I was like, oh, you gotta check out the Runaways from Marvel. I normally don't talk about things from the big two because they're guaranteed to have them in stock and whatever and blah 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 blah. Well, I'm doing it again. I'm talking about something for the big two. This time from DC Comics. It's Batman White Knight. The only reason I'm talking about it is because I just think it's way too interesting, for me personally, to not talk about and to not suggest to you. It's Batman White Knight. Yes, it's a Batman title, but it's not the average Batman title. It's going to be focused on the Joker after he's been cured of his insanity and his homicidal tendencies, and yeah, right. And he's just going to be called Jack, and feels like he has to save Gotham from Batman. Batman's gone too far, and it's going to follow that story on how to save the world from Batman. And not in the I'm the crazy clown prince of crime sort of saving Batman, but just like a regular guy who sees the problems with Batman, or maybe Batman's just gone too far in this particular story. Maybe he's killed some people. We don't know. And I think that's going to be really fun to explore and take a look at. This could have been done a million times. It might have already been. I can't particularly think of an instance where the Joker has been the hero and Batman has been a good guy, except for in Earth 2 scenarios with Owlman, the Jester, etc. So I think this is going to be good. So definitely check it out. The art and the story are both done by Sean Murphy. He's doing the whole thing. So that will be in and of itself. I say that a lot. That'll be, that'll be cool. I mean, on the one hand, I like artist, story writer combo duo people times, but one person doing everything is also definitely a benefit, in just that they're not waiting for one or the other. They're just doing it all by themselves. But it's easy to get overwhelmed that way, so we'll see how it goes. Last on my list is something I kind of almost don't want to talk about, just because I'm not personally getting it. And the reason that I'm not getting it is not because I don't want it. I want it really bad, and I had to talk myself down from it. Because I was just I was all in. I wanted it, but if I got it, I couldn't get anything else for a little while. It's the 35th anniversary Akira box set. Now, comics. It's the comics, not the movie. So they didn't make multiple movies. It's all the volumes plus a cool art book. All in hardcover, which I don't think these have ever been released in hardcover. And it comes in a really cool carrying case, and it's got a awesome patch thing. I don't really care about the patch too much. I do care about all the volumes and the art book being in hardcover and coming in a really cool stylized hard case, to keep safe. The only issue that is keeping me from getting it is that it's $200. So there's your price tag. I don't know if you have Akira, if you're interested in Akira. Read it once, never picked it up. Love the movie, you'd like to see it more in depth. I don't know if you're willing to shell out $200 for it. But I think it's really cool, and I want it really bad, and I can't have it. So it would be remiss of me not to tell you about it, because I think it's probably one of the better things in the previews book for October. I'm not getting a lot in October. But yeah, definitely, if you read the previews books or look at previews and you think that I missed something or something I should have talked about, definitely put it in the comments down below. Next week, we are definitely going to do that Runaways. We're going to do the Runaways. I'm so down and excited to talk to you about the Runaways, and it's going to be great. So, until next time, enjoy comics, enjoy cartoons, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.